Danger, unsafety. Is that unsafety? Is that a thing? That can't be a thing. Yeah, not safe. Not safe.
Unsafe.
That's the one. This is Dottie.
Dottie or Dolly?
You know why I said Dottie? Because my stepdad used to go to this little casino gambling chain in Las Vegas called Dottie's. It was like red writing at Dottys. That's where that came from. This is Dolly. Similar, but not, you know. I just drove this right now, just around the property to turn it around and then into the corral. Because it's got this farm truck vibe. Cool truck, probably don't need to do any kind of street trial runs on this. I wanted to get a baseline on this thing before we tear it apart. Don't think I need to do that. Like I said, this is Dolly. This is gonna be a more mild build for us. This would be something more of a street truck and a farm truck. Still capable to an extent. But not something full kill like a big tube chassis car. This is going to be let's do a quick list. We're going to bring this in. I just ordered the shocks today. Shocks are pretty cool. 3.5 inch coilovers, 20-inch stroke in the rear, 18-inch stroke in the front. So big travel. Triangulated 4-link off of the axle. Better than a leaf spring. Delete the 4-wheel drive up here. Delete the transfer case. 4L80. On the 4L80, just automatic, no manual valve body, just put it in drive, go. 545 cubic inch Maruzi big block Ford, fuel injected Holley. Strip all the frame, probably do a different frame in the back, just kick it. Still some kind of rectangular tube, but make it tasteful. Low ride height, it'll be a little lower than this. Keep the glass. 40-inch, either 40-inch race tire or 39-inch project, probably a project. New wheels, because this is an 8-lug, convert to trophy truck, so 6 on 6.5. Keep the same vibe, obviously. Probably do away with that guy. But really simplicity. The way to look at some of these builds is like exercises, doing design exercises. We have like the epitome of a wild project, which would be like the Dakar prototype. A lot of the sheet metal that we do gets pretty dynamic. This would be something simplified. Fabricated beams, not billet beams. You know, swing steer, but just old school vibe. I'd like to keep it like that. Just use big parts and tech where we need it, like with the engine management. The wiring will be nice. You know, everything powder coated, but same hand-built beams, hand-built radius arms, swingers, pivots. All chrome ollie, everything, all TIG welded everything, new bumper. Obviously put Baja designs on here. Pretty excited about this because it's a very capable street truck. That's the move. When I built Beth, it was a similar thing. It was 22 inches of travel in the front on a twin I-beam suspension, hand fabricated, swing steer with a box. We'll put a ram assist on here, but you know, I just get the fitment. We'll build it to this glass, so the fitment will be perfect front and rear. Same with the rear, full floater in the rear, big hubs, 10-inch gear, and you know, just a healthy 700 horsepower pump gas motor, all big block. Just this vibe, but a lot better. So I just wanted to introduce Dolly to you guys. Again, a lot of these projects, like you'll see this update and then you probably won't see it for 5 to 6 weeks. Once we get parts going, then we can start tearing into it. Once we have space, we'll allocate a bay for this thing, and then we'll get it all stripped down. We'll strip the frame and we'll start plating the frame. We'll build out the kickers in the rear and we'll have this thing prepared. I'm gonna bet my left nut that this thing will also get a cage, but it won't be an extreme cage. It'll be something between a tube chassis and Eric Lee's black F-150. So it'll be just enough to keep everybody safe, but not something that's going to be hard to get in and out of, and extremely tied into the front and rear. Just connecting the dots, making a nice upper structure of rigidity, and just keeping this thing so it doesn't twist and bend, and it saves your life. So cool truck. I think the essence of this is right, you know, all saddle, distressed leather interior. Keep it white. Probably keep the wheels polished, like the whole look, just make it ours. And that's the blessing with a lot of these clients is I'm no stranger to doing rehabs on trucks, you know, meaning like this is already an example of a truck and we're gonna rehab this thing. We're gonna make it the best version of itself. We're gonna let it grow into exactly what it should be without going super overboard on turning it into a tube chassis truck. It's already a big, long truck, like we're gonna make it sick, bomb jumps with it. Just not a optimal candidate to, you know, be consistently going through 5-foot holes at 100 miles an hour, like something like Vivian or some of the other cars. All we're doing here is just showing what we're gonna start with. This is like our canvas. Like I said, I like the color. The glass is good, the grill is good, like all of our trim is all right. Just now we're gonna transform it. Well, obviously it was a blue truck before, so we'll get proper paint going on this thing. There's a drip rail delete they did on here that I would say is you know, a PG rated way to say that, less than optimal. So we'll fix that. The bed cage and all the chassis back here, I want to do something where it doesn't, I want it to fit the truck a little bit, and I think I'm going to tie it back into like older days with Suspension Innovations, SI, and New Line. They had kind of like these, even my brain is like wanting to run a shock mount out here that's this big bent 2-inch tube with the shocks are high up, you know, have it visible, don't tuck them in, like an OG look. We haven't, I like the OG stuff for the imprint that it's left, but I want to take a challenge of trying to inspire it into a modern like build. Doing it right, not using little micro welds. I mean, we'll do it how we do it, but we'll put a twist on everything. The other cool thing is with King, they're going to build us a 20-inch stroke coilover, which usually your max is 18. So the biggest they can do for us is a 20, and it's a 3.5-inch coilover. Most trophy trucks run a 3-inch coilover, so 3.5. I wanted to get 4, so they couldn't do it. I've only seen one truck with 4-inch coilovers, besides like a Robbie shock. That was a King shock, and that was for Stu on the back of his truck, and I don't know how they pulled that off, but they're threaded body 4-inch. With a 3.5-inch coilover, probably a 7 or 7.5-inch OD spring. So it'll just, that's the whole thing about this, is it'll be bump stops, bolt-on bumps in the back, and then, you know, can bumps in the front, 2.5 by 2.5s. All of them are colored properly the way we want them, but 20-inch stroke shock should put you somewhere good up here. We'll sit this thing super low, so it's got, you know, hopefully 12 inches of up travel. Same with the front. The front will bump heavy, but it'll be really low, really wide, perfect stance, perfect fitment. And then the other thing in the back is usable bed. So that was kind of what the client was asking, is to, you know, when you go, this is the weird middle ground with people when they do their trucks. This doesn't even have shocks in it right now. He drove it from far like this. Insane. He said he had arm pump from the steering. you get to this point where you don't need to delete your bed and you do it prematurely, and that's what this has. So now that we're here, I'm gonna clean this up to the point where he still doesn't require a ton of structure back here. That means that I can clock the shock mounts, the upper shock mounts, and a lot of the chassis work in a way where we can still funnel storage into this thing, and we can tin it out where you look back here and it's still a bed. Obviously it's a very functional bed, and you'll notice the aesthetic is primarily to have a chassis and structure and shocks, but we'll get enough tin work back here where you can either park bikes back here or just plug it full of storage and groceries, camping stuff, whatever you want. Single spare for sure, and then, you know, a fuel cell under here. So it's a mild build in comparison to a lot of stuff we do, but it's an exciting one. I've had this thing parked up here, and you know, when I walk from the house up to the shop, it's got such a great presence to it, and I don't want to diminish that. Looking at it now, probably run a tailgate. I think that's the move. You know that's the move. You know that's the move. So, you know, just clean tie-ins. If we do a cage, I don't think we'll run down tubes. We'll just come off of the belt line. New pivots, just clean it up. It should be super tidy, like just a really clean hot rod. It does not have to go huge down the wormhole or the rabbit hole with the build. We're gonna stress clean and tidy and simple on this thing. So welcome Dolly, here she is. Pretty excited about it. We're just gonna start on it when we get parts.